Um, Hi everyone. So thank you, Peter, so much for your help. And I guess I want to discuss the next steps for essentially implementing the pod level checkpoint restore functionality um, in Cryo and Containerd. And this is essentially a follow up on the previous discussion um, whether we can coordinate the implementation so that we have essentially a snapshot format that is compatible with both runtimes. And then eventually this will allow us to restore a checkpoint created, for example, with one runtime in another one. And so I have a prototype for Containerd, and this should go through review. But Adrian also is planning to work on the Cryo implementation. So my plan was to essentially describe in high level um, essentially what the APIs are, what the checkpoint flow is. Essentially, how do we freeze the pod? How do we checkpoint containers? Um, and then how do we restore containers as well, and then to describe what is the format. And I currently have um, essentially description of the existing container checkpoint format. So essentially it's not changing, but we can also describe how this will look like also for gvisor if you have containers pods created with gvisor. um, do you think this would be a good idea to do, or what would you suggest as a next step?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, I think it's good to have the goal of runtime compatibility. I think because of all of the things that make it very node specific, I wonder how practical node runtime compatibility would actually look like. So I'm not sure if that should be like a.
I think you muted yourself.
Sorry, yeah. I think it's a good thing to aim for, but I don't necessarily know if like yeah, we can certainly get it done.
Okay. Um, I guess so. My plan was to essentially create a prototype with both Cryo and Containerd, and then once we have both runtime sort of implementations, we can ask for API review for the essentially the high-level Kubernetes APIs. Would that make sense? Just essentially to have the complete implementation, and then we can um, ask. Essentially, we can do that next week, I guess.
Yeah, I think yeah, I think that makes sense. Sorry, do what next week?
My plan was to next week we can send an email to ask API reviews for essentially to review the. Um, uh, does it make sense to ask for reviews of the proposed API for Kubernetes? The APIs for pod snapshot and the way we restore pods.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can try on the review request. I It might be a little bit early to get it because it like code freeze is literally just finished. But I definitely do think we should try to get it done before like, the beginning of next release, for
Okay.
instance.
And I also want to, I guess we discussed this earlier in the previous meetings, but I guess we want to create a new proposal for GPU support. And I think we can have some feedback from Dan. He's also here. But I guess we have to coordinate with the device working group. Or do you have any advice on how to do that?
Yeah, I mean they have a couple bi-weekly meetings, so I think probably going and bringing a presentation to them makes sense of like the approach. I think it'll be pretty. I don't think it'll be terribly controversial, the idea to do it. I think the one thing we'll have to figure out is there might be some details to figure out, but I think they probably generally know that it's coming.
Yes, I presented this in one of the meetings like a few weeks ago, and I think they have two meetings. One is Asia time, and the other one is I think Europe US time. So I attended the Asia time meeting, and they suggested to attend the other meeting because there are more people usually get
Yeah,
feedback on.
that makes sense.
Dan, if you want, I can try to write an initial draft and create sort of a presentation of what essentially GPU checkpointing would look like, and I can share this with you and Peter and everyone else. And then we
I love
can,
that. Yes.
yeah, cool. Um, I want to ask Peter, what do we have to do in terms of documentation now that this is really merged into for the next
I
release?
think no, I don't think we have really any requirement on documentation. Like technically speaking, we failed to get the feature into the release. So yeah, I think we're good.
Did we get an exception?
I don't actually know if the exception was granted, but honestly, to be honest, like I don't really believe that we'll be able to get the API changes in time. So I don't know how much getting an exception granted would actually do to get the entirety of the feature in.
That's fair.
But I think there was a comment on the GitHub issue. I'm not sure if you've seen it. It was like very recently that it's.
Which GitHub? Like what was the comment there? What did it say?
I can just open it. Yes.
Yeah. So this is saying it was granting the opportunity to get the CRI API PR in, but I think that does not completely satisfy alpha criteria. So like we still don't have we don't have the API yet. It's not actually really usable by end users, so I don't think we have anything to document yet.
But would we? Would it mean that we can go and implement the container D?
Yeah,
Container.
there's nothing that's stopping us from doing stuff on the CRI side.
Okay.
The deadlines are completely different. This is only like for Kubernetes itself.
Okay. And in terms of, I guess, what would be the next step for this KEP? Should we do an update because we had some changes to the CRI APIs?
Yep, I think a KEP update. I mean, frankly, we have like at least a month and a half, 2 months until the next KEP season is going to probably be like mid-September or something like that. So that's something we will have to do. I don't necessarily know. I think focusing on the containerd and cryo implementations does make sense. I think that will allow us basically to come 138 season actually have something that's testable and runnable in Kubernetes CI, which I think will be a boon. But yeah, so I think we can definitely get to the KEP updates whenever, but I don't think that there's any urgency to that yet.
Okay. And in terms of, I guess, yeah, I guess as a timeline so that we can plan, we can introduce the checkpoint restore pod level checkpoint restore functionality in cryo and containerd, at least as a proposal, and then we can try to get some feedback on the high level API for Kubernetes, and in parallel we can also create a proposal for GPU checkpoint restore, essentially as if we need any changes to the DRI. I guess we have to explore and get some feedback on that, but does that make sense?
Yep, that makes sense.
Okay, cool. Then any more comments from your side?
Actually, I have a quick question if you don't have anything else.
Yes, Andre?
Yeah, like I was wondering, so we're talking about proposal for GPU checkpointing. Could you just clarify what would be the main differences compared to existing for checkpoint restore APIs?
No, it's mainly we have to figure out what we need from on Kubernetes side. Like for example, when we create a GPU checkpoint, one thing that we need to remember is the GPU driver version and the GPU device that was used during checkpointing. And then when we restore from this checkpoint, we have to essentially choose a compatible node, essentially choose compatible device. So we have to sort of make this information available to the scheduler. And I think Peter was suggesting that we can introduce a scheduler plugin that, and from the device working group, they mentioned that the DRI implementation already has information about the GPU device and the driver, so we just need to figure out what is the best way to implement it. At least it's my understanding at the moment. But yeah, when we start discussing also checkpointing deployments or stateful sets or jobs, then we have to discuss also coordination and yeah.
But I'm wondering, so why this should be, why checkpoint should worry about the scheduling part if this is part of the application itself? Because node and tolerations are applied by, schedule, like the application, is, train job, job set, etc. And then, like based on this, the pods, will be scheduled on the appropriate nodes. Why we really care about this on the checkpointing side?
So, for example, when you have a PyTorch job, this PyTorch job could run with pretty much any GPU driver. But then if you create a checkpoint, you can restore the checkpoint only with specific driver version.
Okay. So it's like additional information around the drivers of the specific nodes, right? I see. But this problem cannot be solved with taint and tolerations, and how, for example, queue assign workload to the specific node group.
I guess the best thing is to ask and see what the device working group thinks. We can try to propose something and then get feedback on that.
But I guess the rough idea is to kind of expose this information under the checkpointing API, right? So when we do some migrations, okay, I see. Yeah, I mean, would love to see the proposal to understand how what kind of information we want to expose, right? Because I guess for now checkpointing is not really GPU specific, right? However, you only want to expose this information for GPU checkpointing. What about other devices, right?
Yeah, for the current proposal, we said that GPU devices are out of scope. So I guess that's why we have to create a new proposal.
Yeah. I think my more question about okay, we have different type of devices, right? And I mean you have TPUs, GPUs, right? And all of them might implement their own DRI driver. So I guess what kind of information, how we want to expose this in a checkpointing API is the question.
One thing is we currently don't have a way of checkpointing TPUs, and as far as I know, there is no Creo plugin for doing that.
Okay.
So I guess at some point there might be some feedback from other people, and maybe they can contribute.
Yeah. Do you know if there are any kind of interest from other devices to ensure Creo or like other providers can checkpointing their the snapshot the snapshot of the state of all your devices?
Not really. I think only AMD GPUs and NVIDIA GPUs officially support this. But I don't know about other devices.
Okay, makes sense.
Cool. So I guess if we don't have any other comments, I guess I'll see you next week.
Great.
Bye.
Yeah.
Thank you.